Well, I never knew this about Bo until he did his artist talk in the exhibition. But he said when he was a young man, had he not become an artist, he would have considered becoming a minister. And if you think about it, there are some parallels there. Both people deal with narratives, storytelling, persuasion, of taking things that are intangible and relating them to life in a very tangible way.
Part of my spending time here is to process my childhood and to process my whole life, because all of my dreams are in this house. You know, if I'm no matter whether I'm in Pennsylvania or Maine or New York or Seattle, when I have a dream, it's often of one of the rooms in this house, in this room or in my childhood bedroom or in the attic or even in the little crawl space of the basement. So each dream it holds the my psychology. And so to be able to paint here, I'm able to you know, process my life and process my psychology in a very real way.
Bo has this ability to tell stories through a distilled narrative that I think could have only come from somebody from the South. He can behold the everyday and infuse it with such life and such positivity, but never saccharine, because there's always, you know, deeper meanings and layers of psychology in Bo's work.
See this guy here that I found, this toy that I used to play with when I was a kid. And I thought, gosh, I played with that all the time. Like, I didn't have many toys, but this was one that I did. And then, so I, you know, the most fascinating thing about coming back is that you realize that things are actually like imprinted. Like, see this guy? It's like direct from this pose. Like, that's where I played with this toy so much that I, years later, put him into the painting.
You might say he's a romantic realist. There's some things shocking and startlingly real about his work because of his virtuosity as a painter, but at the same time, his paintings are just as much about the invisible as the visible. And for him, the invisible is something that's very, the word in the society we would use is spiritual. That is to say, those hidden things that are intangible that make life rich and worth living.
One time my father was watching television, he was watching the football game, and I said, we'd been studying Indians at school, and I said, Dad, I'm going to go outside and find an Indian arrowhead. He said, yeah, okay, Bo, whatever. And so I walked out, I went out the back door, the dining room door, and I went out 10 feet out into the yard and reached down and picked up this Indian arrowhead. And it was just sitting there right on top of the ground. And I walked back in and I say, look, Dad. And he thought that I had staged the whole thing, like that I'd found this arrowhead earlier. And what I learned from it was that it's a magic world.